In today's show, let's look ahead to Sunday. Target some streamers to try and win our week's matchup. Michael Bolton.
Thanks, Josh. It's Michael Bolton here, and it's time for another episode of the Locked On Fantasy Basketball Podcast. Let's get to it.
Let's get to it, indeed.
You are Locked On Fantasy Basketball, your daily fantasy basketball podcast, part of the Locked On Podcast Network.
Hello and welcome to the Locked On Fantasy Basketball Podcast, brought to you by Basketball Monster. My name is Josh Lloyd and I am the lead fantasy analyst at basketballmonster.com and at Yahoo Sports Australia. And you can find me on Twitter, as always, at redrock_bball and on Instagram at Locked On Fantasy Basketball. Thank you for making Locked On Fantasy Basketball your first listen every day. We are free and available on all platforms. We are here to look at Sunday, December 26th. Have a look at some streaming options as we do on the last day of the week, targeting specific categories. We will start, though, by looking at points leagues. So let's take a look at points leagues. And we'll start with Yahoo. Of course, there's plenty of games that are going to be impacted by COVID here. So let's take a look at who we can add. And there's a trio of Pistons players for Yahoo points leagues that are going to be really interesting options. Trey Lyles, Corey Joseph, and Hamidou Diallo. All of these guys are going to be starters, almost definitely, with no Stewart, no Lee, no Hayes, no Cunningham, no Jeremy Grant. And there's real options for these guys to be probably all top 60 players for at least this day. So adding those players for Sunday makes a lot of sense, and even for a little bit longer than that. Eric Bledsoe, for the Clippers, we know Reggie Jackson is in the COVID protocol, so he's going to play big minutes as their only point guard on the team. He's a good add. Now, in Toronto, a bunch of their blokes are out as well. In fact, we've got no Barnes, Trent, Siakam, VanVleet, Anunoby, Birch, Achua, Flynn, Bonga, Champagne, and Goran Dragic. They're all out. So, Yuta Watanabe, he's probably going to have to start next to Chris Boucher. Now, Boucher's already rostered in leagues. Watanabe, he's a good add. Delano Banton's probably going to have to start. Svi Mykhailiuk is probably going to have to start. They might have to start. There's some names you'll see me drop in later on that you're going to be surprised at. But there's three options there. In Detroit, we also look at Frank Jackson. We look at Cedi Osman, the discman. Chetty is an option there in Cleveland with the absences they have. And then we look at Chuma Okeke. I know that Wendell Carter is back, and so is Cole Anthony, and Chuma had some foul trouble last game, but he's at least a solid stream for the games on Sunday. For ESPN points leagues, all of these players are available in over 50% of ESPN leagues, and some of the names will make you go, what is going on with you people over at ESPN? Josh the Hitman Hart, yes, he's a must-roster player. Why is he available in so many leagues? Corey Joseph, we already touched on. Dylan Brooks is available in over 50% of leagues, and I'm not the biggest Dylan Brooks fan, but that's ludicrous. In a points league, it's stupid. Trey Lyles, Hamidou Diallo, we spoke about already. Kevin Love is available on ESPN leagues. I don't know why, but he is. Going at him. Watanabe. Lou Dort. Lou Dort is available. Now, I know Lou Dort's had some struggles, but in a points league, yeah, you got to add him.
No, my son is also named Bort.
And then a couple more Cavs. The Discman, Cedi Osman, and Lauri Markkanen. Both of those guys should be rostered, at least for Sunday, but probably for longer. In fact, you look at Hart, Brooks, Love, Dort, Osman, or Dort and Markkanen, they should all be must-roster players, yet they are all still floating around in many leagues for you guys to go and add. Let's look at category leagues now. Starting with category, or how you can get guys in to help contribute in the points category. Again, we've got three Pistons players here. Frank Jackson, he doesn't do much else, but he does score. Trey Lyles, a pretty good scorer. Hamidou Diallo can be a solid scorer as well. So those three options are there if you're looking to compete in that points category. Mykhailiuk, we talked about already. Corey Joseph in Detroit. Cedi Osman is another good points option. Delano Banton. And yes, Source Castillo is back in the NBA. He is playing for the Toronto Raptors. And I think he's going to start for the Toronto Raptors. Their team is in absolute shambles. They've only got 4 regular roster players and then 4 replacements. He's going to have to play big minutes. Eric Bledsoe is a good stream for some points. And Lonnie Walker also is a pretty good option when you're looking to up that points category for Sunday's action. For threes, a lot of those same names. Frank Jackson, Cedi Osman, Justin Holiday in Indiana, Mihailuk Stauskas, Doug McDermott in San Antonio. We know he's good for some threes. Trey Lyles, Yuta Watanabe, Kobe White. Kobe White can probably also be streamed in for points as the Bulls get back on the court. And Lonnie Walker. But yeah, I guess with the back to the White one, with Levine likely to return, then some of White's scoring will go down. He might score 12 points, but it might come from 4 triples. So he is a good 3-point streamer, as is, as I said, Lonnie Walker the fourth, a pretty good stream option there. But when we're talking about things that we need to take control of, we need to take control of our subscriptions. They can spiral out of control, and sometimes you don't even know what you're subscribed to as money just keeps siphoning out of your bank account. Well, TrueBill is here, and it is the new app that helps you identify and stop paying for subscriptions that you don't need, that you don't want, or the ones that you simply forgot about. On average, people save up to $720 a year with TrueBill. Because companies make it incredibly hard to cancel subscriptions, TrueBill makes it incredibly simple. Just link your accounts and TrueBill will cancel your unwanted subscriptions in one tap. And your TrueBill concierge is there when you need them to cancel unwanted subscriptions so you don't have to. TrueBill has over 2 million users and has helped them save over $100 million. Don't fall for subscription scams. Start canceling today at truebill.com/lockedonnba. Go right now. That's truebill.com/lockedonnba. It could save you thousands a year. truebill.com/lockedonnba. Okay. Let's look at some streamers for the rebounds category. Trey Lyles, seen that name pop up a lot. I don't think Trey Lyles is particularly good, but with so many guys out, he's going to put up numbers. Omer Yurtseven, the new starting center for the Miami Heat with Dedmon and Bam out. Billy Hernan-Gomez. Now, Valanciunas probably does return, but Hernan-Gomez off the bench can be a rebound option. Hamidou Diallo, Yuta Watanabe, Dean Wadey Wade. He's probably going to have to start in Cleveland with Allen and Mobley out. Darius Baisley, even though he comes off the bench, he's pulling in rebounds at a high level. Javonte Green in Chicago, good rebounder for his position. Jeremiah Robinson-Earl is a good rebound streamer, as is O'Shea Brissett in Indiana. Brissett, of course, started the last game for the Pacers with Sabonis out. At this point, I don't have an update on whether Sabonis is going to play or not. If we look at assists streamers, Corey Joseph, Eric Bledsoe, names that I've mentioned already. Tremont Waters, yes, a real NBA player, yes, on an NBA roster, yes, going to get real minutes. He's playing for Toronto, and he's a good assist player. Tyus Jones, yes, coming off the bench, but can still get assists. Delano Banton, Terrence Mann. Tim Frazier, that's a little bit iffy, but there's not many good assist players around. Cedi Osman, Brandon Goodwin, again, a real NBA player who's going to play real NBA minutes in a game tomorrow. He plays for the Toronto Raptors. He's going to have to play. And then Kevin Pangos with the Cavs. Now, Pangos is lower than these other guys. There's no guarantee he plays a significant role, but he might be able to get 3 assists in 10 or 12 minutes, and that might be just enough, especially if you're fighting around in deeper leagues. You're finding these names like a Goodwin, like a Pangos, like a Tim Frazier. That can make the difference. Let's look at steals. Tremont Waters, Svi Mykhailiuk, Yuta Watanabe, Eric Bledsoe, Corey Joseph, Hamidou Diallo, Delano Banton, Cedi Osman, Javonte Green, and then add to that list the Oklahoma City Mudflap, Kenrich Williams. We've talked about a lot of these blokes already, and you see a lot of these Raptors and Pistons guys continually getting mentioned because of the absences they have and pushing some value in on these guys. Now, these are all just general players you add for like one game and drop them. We're not like expecting any of these COVID replacement guys to have long-term value. The only guy I could ever see that happening to is maybe Marquise Chris in Dallas. Maybe he can get a roster spot. But like, watch the Lakers. Isaiah Thomas is going to get, like, his contract's going to expire and he's not going to get renewed for the Lakers. It's just, I don't think it's going to happen. So just with all these guys, we're adding them for the short term and then that's it. On to blocks. My man, Omer Yurtseven. Darius Baisley's been a good shot blocker. The Cornetto, Luke Cornett. He didn't play much in the first game, but I think there is an opportunity for Cornett to play a little bit more than those 2 garbage time minutes, especially if they don't decide to go back to Taco Fall. But if it is Taco Fall, then Taco Fall becomes a block streamer. Yuta Watanabe, Goldfinger, Charlie Bassie with Andre Drummond out in Philadelphia. Josh Jackson's not a bad shot blocker. Brissett, Trey Lyles, Diallo, and then Derek Favors, who I expect after resting last game will step back into the starting lineup. That will, that's the wrong button. That will take me on to tell you about getting the energy that you need at a delicious taste. That's Built Bar. Built Bar is the best tasting protein bar ever. I'm sure that Santa brought you boxes of Built Bars for Christmas. I'm sure your house just looks full of Built Bar and those delicious looking wrappers that you've just scoffed through. Because these are the low carb, low calorie, low fat, and low sugar protein bar that is high in protein and absolutely high on the DE. The DQ maybe. DQ, let's call it. Deliciousness quotient. Cookies and cream is my favorite. Whatever your favorite is, I don't care because it won't be cookies and cream, and we're all entitled to our opinion. Some of us just have wrong opinions. But the opinion of Built Bar being the best is not subjective. That is objective. The best tasting protein bar you will find. So go to built.com. Use the promo code LOCKED15, and that will save you 15% off of boxes and boxes of beautifully delicious Built Bars. Built Bar is built different. Okay. Let's round this out now. Field goal percentage stream options for Sunday's games. Billy Hernan-Gomez, check Diallo. Do you know where he plays? Yep, he plays for Detroit, and they don't have any centers, and Luka Garza is bad. Diallo's not much better, but Diallo can be a high field goal guy. Robin Lopez, even though the minutes might be lower now, he can influence that category. Derek Favors, Charlie Bassey, Jeff Green, Terrence Mann, Tristan Thompson, the new Spurs backup center, Jock Landale. He's an interesting ad there for field goal percentage. And then Kenrich Williams. And we round it out by looking at some players who can be free throw percentage streams. Stauskas, Mihailuk, Frank Jackson, Corey Joseph, Kobe White, Jeff Green, Brad Wanamaker getting backup minutes for the Pacers. The Big Stiffy, Bones Highland, Davis Bertans, and the Moose, Mike Muscala. That will do it for us today, guys. Don't forget to follow this podcast on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Stitcher, Spotify, and on the Odyssey app. Here on YouTube, give me a thumbs up. Leave your comments down below, guys. We are done here. Thank you so much for listening, everyone. See ya.